Appreciate everybody for coming out today. Lots of good stuff. Everybody pick up some good information this morning? Yeah, Lon's got some great, a lot of information to share yet by the end of today and tomorrow. So I get to do all the fun stuff. I always ask him why I have to do the manual stuff, and he sits up there and talks. So I don't know how that always ends up. Again, my name is George Maanao with Stretch Devices. We're the manufacturers of the Newman roller frames, amongst other systems, pin systems, squeegees, flood bars, stretching tables. So today I'm going to talk a whole lot about pre-press, which, as Lon mentioned earlier, was one of his favorite parts of the screen print, and mine as well. There's nothing better than preparing a great screen and then putting it on press and seeing that end result just come out exactly the way you want it to be. If you're going to put all that time and hard work in preparing great films and artwork, you want to be able to reproduce that on the back end on the shirt. So lots of times, all that time is spent on creating the designs and films, but then when you get to the press and print, it's like, wow, what happened? You know, it doesn't look anything like the film or the separation. So hopefully after showing you the screens and tension, that you'll understand further how tension is related to end result of printing. We feel that screens or the screen area should be your command center of your entire business. Without the proper screen, whether it's screen tension, emulsion, mesh count, the end result may or may not be there for you. So you have to really take the time and prepare the right screens in order to get the end result of a press. So the best press on the market, whether it's an auto or manual, is not going to fix a poorly made screen. Okay? As screen printers, I was a screen printer for many years on my own business as well. We're real good at making things work on press if we find that there's a problem. So we're good at putting the Band-Aids on issues. But we have to look back, step back, and look at all these variables that we're encountering in printing and see where does that come from. So let me just, who here is using roller frames? Anybody? Okay, we got one. And a majority of everybody are manual printers, from what I understand? Yeah, a couple of automated. Okay. I'm not, since a lot of you are mostly on stretch and glue, aluminum, wood, both? Good, good. That's a huge move right there. So I'm not going to dwell too much on stretch and glue frames since you're using it right now. The main thing is that with the roller frame, who doesn't know anything about a roller frame? Okay, but you've heard of it, right?
I've seen it.
Okay. We've been manufacturing the roller frame now for over 30 years. Okay, so the main difference between a roller frame, other than the fact that you got round, the frame itself is round. This happens to have a square bar because it goes into a manual press that rear clamps. Is that this is designed to retension your mesh. Okay, everything we're going to talk about here is always going to stem down to tension and controlling the variables. Okay, everything that Lon discussed this morning, the printing, it's all about control, consistency, repeatability at the right proper screen tension. So this is your standard manual frame right here, size. We customize all of our frames to fit. I mean, we make frames anywhere from small down to 12 inches by 12 inches for CD, DVD printing, all the way up to 15 by 30 feet for billboard printing or large poster printing. Yeah, those are big, big suckers. Okay, so it's not just in textile that you see these frames. It's going to be in a lot of different printing applications. Okay, so this is your standard manual size frame right here. Up to a 20, that's an 18 by 20 ID. We have a 23 by 28 OD. And for those of you automated, now we're at a 2331 standard. As you can see now at this size, you have 4 rollers. Okay, so the whole idea behind a roller frame is to be able to control your screens, control the tension, so that you can maximize your quality and end result in your printing. Okay, so what we're going to do here, this is called a roller master. it's designed to speed the process, make it very easy to stretch a roller frame. Now, there's a lot of mystique behind the roller frame as far as, well, we don't do process, we don't do specialty printing, we don't do high-end, so roller frames are not something I should be using. Even though we're working with an advanced class right here, the roller frame is used for all types of printing. One colors, single, black and white. You'll see the difference simply because the tensions are being controlled. Okay, but the screen tension in the roller frame allows you to, when the time is right, after you get all this information from Lon over the next couple days, it allows you to then step up to the next level and do some really neat stuff. At the same time, you're printing, at the high end with real simple stuff, right? Okay, so we're going to go right into stretching. This roller master is pneumatic. We have 4 wrenches, as you can see, attached to a cable, goes right over the end plug of the roller. Okay. We have 2 control gauges here. This gauge here controls the wrenches in this direction, and this gauge here controls the wrenches in this direction. Okay. Pull out a locking strip. You can use any mesh. We're using roller mesh here. Lon touched on that a little bit. But this is high tension mesh.
Does it come pre-cut, or did you cut it?
No, it comes off a roll. So you can get a bolt of mesh like this, and you just tear the mesh to the size frame that you're using. Okay? Everything you see that I'm using here will be available as part of a kit that goes with your frames. Okay? So Lon was mentioning at the very end there about halftones and dots and how they should align to the thread. So it's important that when mesh is inserted into a screen, whether it's a roller frame or aluminum or wood stretching glue, that the mesh is put on as straight as possible into the screen. So the process that I'm going to show you right now enables you to control that. These clips are used to hold the mesh into place into this T-slot. This is a locking strip that is used to hold the mesh into the roller. Okay, so I have the alignment clips here that hold the mesh into the roller, and I'm going to take my locking strip and just get a measurement of the mesh off the back of the locking strip. You can see I'm along here. So as I wiggle the alignment clip, I can pull in on the mesh and get equal measurement on both sides. Once I've established that, I'll just take the locking strip, slide it into the T-slot, like so. Real clean, real simple, no glues, activators. Okay. Do the opposite side.
Now, when doing this, do any of the creases or folds matter?
It'll come right out when you get the screen up to tension. Okay. Take a measurement again.
What are you measuring for? I can't see it over here.
Make sure, as I'm measuring, it allows me to make sure I'm putting the mesh in straight.